Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Comicsgate Commandos number 27. How y'all doing tonight? Oh, what a fantastic night it's been, huh? Hansel Hauser, tree. Or those peppermint stick trees? Don't even know. Let me bring on my co-hosts for this evening, Colonel Carbon Hart. Howdy, Carbon. How you doing, man?
What's up, Patrick?
Chilling, dude. Excited for tonight. BA is great.
Yep. By the way, those were helmets from Hansel Hauser.
Wait,
those were military helmets, not trees.
Oh my God, I feel so stupid now. Not like anything's changed. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our medic, Dr. Ben. What's up, Doctor? Looks like you're working on something there. Oh my God.
Worry. Draw a picture of worry.
Did you not think I was going to bring you on? I'm going to take a fat rip right before.
Another couple, like 3 more seconds.
All right. Well, then, while you're doing that, let me introduce our special guest for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the creator and writer of Vigilante's Creed, number 1 and number 2, which you can now back on Indiegogo. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to B.A. Turner. What's up, B.A.?
Hello, guys.
How you doing, man?
What's up, BA?
Damn. Look at his
What's
setup,
up, man?
guys. Usually it's like purple and red. Now he's got it green. This guy's a fucking professional. Wow.
Bats.
Amazing.
Yeah, you moved recently, right, BA?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
So this is the new setup you got going.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Dude, it's nice.
I like the Batman stuff, of course. I'm a
course,
big
thank you.
Batman fan.
Oh, yeah, can't go wrong
Yeah,
with
I
that,
wanted
guys.
to ask you, does that Deathstroke mask, is it like regular human size?
Yeah, it's that's a full like silicone mask.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. So you could like
Yeah.
wear it as a Halloween costume or something.
oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. It just sucks that he was, a ripoff of Deadpool. Anyway, Frederick
Other way
Lamont
around.
says,
Well,
no, this is my show. Shh, be quiet. Frederick Lamont says, chat room all clear, proceed. We've got Frederick Lamont. We got Johnny Scab watching probably later. I think he's at work at the moment. We have Mr. Self-Destruct. Hail, Mr. Self-Destruct. We have Immortal Rising comic book, which, speaking of whom, we're going to have him on next week. Is it next
Nice.
week? I'm stupid. Everybody knows I'm always stupid. I think it's... Correct me if I'm mistaken, Immortal. It's either next week or the week after. But anyway, we're going to have him on. We're going to promote his book too, so that's going to be
At
fun.
some point.
Yeah.
there will be another week.
Well, you never know these days, man. Ugh. Haitians eating cats.
All in God's hands.
Flat Earth is real. I mean, it's getting real out here. Hansel.
They're eating the dogs. The line of the night.
They could have just gone to China Walk, but no, they've got to eat people's pets. Hansel Hauser says a little bit of light Chinese racism there, ladies and gentlemen. Hansel Hauser says, I guess it's a military hat. Hat. Okay. Says,
Hat.
that like button. Yes. Kamikaze. Salute.
Hello.
Green vibe strong. Yeah, it is, dude. Next
That's
week.
I'll be right.
Sorry, Immortal Rising. I don't even know your real name. People always refer to you as Immortal Rising, so I'm just going to continue to do that. We've got Dr. Ben says rural cat munching. What does that mean? We got Katie Ditch. She says, Hail CG Commandos and BA, listening while getting ready for my show. Welcome, Katie.
Katie.
So, Katie, did you switch Comic Sips and Drama Drips to Wednesdays? I thought you were talking about that on your show on Saturday the other day.
No, she's got a new show that she's doing now.
Oh, yeah?
That's going to be focused on manga and anime, I believe. And conveniently, it's going to be on Wednesday nights.
Right.
And
Thanks,
it's going to be occurring at a similar time. That's right, Katie. I'm calling you out.
Called
for
out.
that.
Wow. You might as well just go work for Eric July, Katie.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's get into it, folks. BA, how you doing?
Hello. So,
I've been good. How you guys been?
hey, I wanted to say too before we start, thank you, Frederick Lamont, for doing the reconnaissance there, pre-stream reconnaissance. It was good. Like that.
Oh yeah.
He did what now? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The reconnaissance. He did the pre-stream. I put the pre-stream reconnaissance.
Right here is a good distance. Just saying.
The reconnaissance. The
Okay.
pre-stream reconnaissance. He checked the chat. It's the first chat message.
Yes. No, he
That's
did.
good.
You're right.
I like that. It was cool.
Chat room all clear. Proceed. Clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Katie says, also, she says, no, it's my new anime show. Also promoting Von Claus. Never heard of him. Just kidding. That's going to be cool. I've been trying to get in touch with him, but I can't seem to message him on Twitter, and I don't know how to. I'm so technologically illiterate that I don't know how to get in touch with him otherwise. You're sorry. You're sorry?
Never apologize.
It's all good, Katie. I'm not angry. I was just having fun with you.
Oh man. So BA, you're in your new place now. You've got, this is a new campaign, right? I mean, when did you start it here?
Oh, this is the same campaign from last October. So
okay.
yeah.
Let me share that real quick. Or do you want to share it and run through it, or do you want me to run through it and you are the one talking?
I can pull it up 1 second here.
Okay. I just don't want to step on any toes, you know.
Potato.
Yeah.
Katie says she knows you're silly, Carbon. Anyway, folks, I've been reading a lot of Punisher recently. A lot of old Punisher stuff.
Yeah.
80s, 90s stuff. It's so sexy. It's so great. He's such a badass. And a lot of it's written by Chuck Dixon, which is really cool to like go back and see the stuff that he wrote back then. He actually did a little, I was going to share it on Twitter, but I forgot, like a little jab at the ATF, which I thought was amazing. But here we go. All right, go ahead, BA.
So yeah, I'm still up on Indiegogo and found my comic. Between the two, we're at like 13.2. My goal is to hopefully get to at least 15 before I initiate my campaign for the first comic issue, which is underway. So just chugging along, still shipping typically next day or within a couple days. Got stock of everything. So yeah, just trying to keep the train moving.
Is that what in demand means?
It can. For some folks, they're still working on the book and they're not ready to ship. It just means it's the end of like the funding, the initial funding period. But I'm using it as a storefront at this point. It's just super convenient. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you using Corey Barton as your comic book artist?
Not ready to announce the team yet, but definitely think there's going to be some return team members. So, but probably by the end of the year should have maybe some line art pages ready to go and sign up page, who knows, and we'll make an announcement. So
awesome. Can you talk about how long it's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably around the 40-page length. So decent size floppy, not going to be too long, but it's not going to be too short. Obviously with, needing to cover the ground of 500 prose pages, there's a lot of comic issues that can be made. Since obviously I'm not going to do a 300-page graphic novel right off the bat. So
okay, so this is going to be like a recap of 1 and 2.
No, this will be basically a portion of the first book. So it's going to be basically different issues along the next couple of years, hopefully. And yeah, just translating it into comic format, with maybe some tweaks here and there, some improvements just to be able to switch it to a more visual medium. But yeah, the goal is to, do anywhere between maybe 6 to 8 issues to cover the entire story arc of both novels. So,
nice.
Yep.
Dude, very nice. And then while you're doing this, though, are you working on number 3, or are you just kind of focusing on this right now?
I'm doing the outlining a bit. The thing I've noticed is I can't juggle between the two different writing styles and mindsets because it's so vastly different. It's really hard to turn off my prose brain when I'm doing a comic. And so I'm going to get at least a good solid draft done of the the script for the comic done first before I start kind of jumping back into prose. So I'm about maybe 13 pages into the script right now. So probably by the end of the year, the script should be done, at least from a pretty edited point of view, a couple drafts in. So if I'm lucky, maybe when I take some holidays off from work, I'll get into the prose novel near the end of the year. So
nice. Real quick, we've got Survive Infinity 0088 says, Hail Comicsgate. Hail Comicsgate.
Hail.
Hail. Wolf and Bear says, Hail. Hello. We've got Galaxy Stranger says, Yo, Commandos, great guest. Hail, Galaxy Stranger. Welcome to Comicsgate Commandos. And yes, you're right.
Yeah.
BA, you want to play that trailer there?
Yeah. Speaking of Von Klaus, he actually did this trailer. And I'll reach out to him too for you, so you get you guys connected. I'm sure he'd love to be on the show. He's a great dude. Greatly.
Does he go by the Vonster? Is that the same guy?
Yep.
The Vonster on Twitter.
Yep.
Do you call him the Vonster?
Just Vaughn usually, but
can we call you
many names?
Can we call you B.A. Baracus, like in the A Team?
Oh, I'm fine with that too. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's like,
See, hopefully the audio will come through.
Yeah. Very nice. BA, for the people in our chat who do not know what Vigilante's Creed is about, can you let them know?
Yeah, so it's 2 novels and a mini comic about a gargoyle and a team of vigilantes fighting terror in Detroit. Terror, which is headed by a man named Incubus, who has unearthed a Nazi-era mind control serum that is destined to enslave the citizens of Detroit. So basically, if you were to think of some comparatives, it's Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns meets Hellboy, essentially, in a way, with some sprinkling in of Daredevil and Rorschach and all the more grittier style of heroes with some biblical and supernatural lore tucked in there.
Very nice indeed. Immortal Rising says, what does BA think about the narrative being pushed that he's unhinged and angry about criticism?
Yeah, good question.
So unhinged when I talk in the same tone with a smile, responding to obvious trolls. But yeah. Oh, yeah. The joys of the Comicsgate trolls.
You've been critiquing people's critiques about you, so therefore that's caused the Twitter blow up, basically,
Well, what's funny about that is, when the whole fiasco went down between Eric and Dick Masterson, right? He didn't respond with like, hey, this is some context and detail behind why I think your notes are off. It's just you're insane, you're a white bread N-word, you're this, you're that. And I'm more like, no, this is what happens in the story that explains why this character does this. This proves that he's not an anti-hero. I think they don't really know what unhinged actually means. It's like when they're like, oh, he's crying. It's like, really? That's what you do at night when you go to sleep, because you can't actually create anything. But yeah.
You know what I've noticed about all of the Twitter trolls who have, and not necessarily, the ripatards, but all of the people who used to be Comicsgate, and then they've gone psycho, so to speak, like the Vicky verses and the Student of God and all these creeps.
That bar. Let's not forget about
is that eventually they start acting very emotional and very whiny, and it's across the board. All of them, they start accusing you of their own behavior, of the things that they're doing themselves, you know?
Yeah, there's always a ton of projection. And look, the thing is, there's plenty of people that leave groups or movements and they just go on and do their own thing, and they don't scream and kick their legs. Like, I have no problem with that, right? Everyone's got the free will to be in whatever group they want or not be in a group. But it's weird because if you're really relieved and happy to not be around a certain group of people, you should feel free. You shouldn't need to kick and scream and get mad at the people that are still part of that group, which to me makes it seem like they're not actually happy, right? Being outside of the movement, and they've got a little bit of hurt feelings over it potentially. But yeah, it's just strange.
Yeah.
If people were calm and didn't like do all the crazy shit, and there wouldn't be Comicsgate. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was not people like canceling people and being like, you can't hire B.A. Turner because he's friends with Eric July. I heard he's friends with I heard he doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like if all that stuff didn't exist, then there wouldn't be any need for Comicsgate. But I mean, that's the reality of what comics is outside of here. So I mean, it's only to be expected. We'll get a little bit of that in Comicsgate, like little bits of like clickiness, and but you can't get kicked out of Comicsgate. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be here, that's you are. That, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just respectful to everybody and you just act like a normal person, you're not going to have any issues within the group, right? Yeah, there's cliques and stuff where this part of the CG may not like this part, and there's always people that don't like each other. But most people don't vocalize that, right? They just kind of keep it to themselves, like, I'm not a big fan of that person, like whatever. But all the vocalization is coming from kind of the scorned folks, but they're trying to kind of instigate battles amongst the rest of the people within the group so that there's more people that leave, and it's just shit stirring. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
It's pretty easy to tell. But the problem are kind of the folks that are, let's say, overlapping with maybe July and other creators that aren't fans of CG. They can be swayed by the trolling, unfortunately.
Right.
They are still kind of gullible to the folks that are anti-CG, and that's where you get those problems that will cause some strife between creators. So,
and that's why it's important that we speak up whenever lies are told. I've come to believe that within the last couple of years. In the past, I used to kind of just let it roll off my shoulder. You know what I mean? When you see the nonsense online, the criticism. But I think a lot of people in recent years have woken up and they're seeing that if the lies perpetuate, more and more people will believe them. So, the winners, it's our responsibility to not allow liars to rewrite history.
Yep. And that's kind of my typical rule is, like that recent critique of a critique, when someone's kind of trying to smear me or lie about things, I'll just respond once. I'll make my points very clear, get the point across, and then that's it. And they may continue to complain about it for a while, but if you can respond in a calm manner and even try to be respectful to the trolls, even though most of them don't deserve it, at least your voice is out there, and then people will get a chance to see the counter argument, and hopefully they're wise enough to realize what the reality of things are. But if you never provide a counter to that, then that's those trolls are going to continue to just spread that, and it's just going to kind of grow, and there are going to be people that will believe it. And so it'd be one thing if I was someone making millions of dollars, right? Then I wouldn't even care, right? Because you should be pretty much being able to retire and just invest in stocks and do your books for fun, right? You wouldn't care what some random person says. But when you're a really small creator, one smear video, one rumor can actually impact your sales, your ability to get funded to continue to create. And that's why I have my own rule where it's like, I won't do negative reviews of small indie creators. Even folks that have came at me, bashed me, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Even if some of them deserve it. You know, it's different, again, if they're essentially the mainstream, you know, if they got all this funding behind them. But yeah, I don't want to do that to smaller creators. So let the market decide, right, naturally, what's good, what isn't good, and not nasty reviews.
Really quick, guys, I want to catch up with the chat here. Kamikaze says, I wish I could clone myself, or I'm sorry. I wish I could clone myself or grow a few more pair of arms. Why?
Yeah.
Why, Cammy? Why do you want more arms?
That's fine with me, Cammy. Send your clone over here.
Oh my God. She already doesn't like you, Carbon, okay? Don't make her mad.
Yeah, that's probably not going to help.
Please don't.
Hey, no, hold on. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
I know she reposted your post earlier today, which is a sign that maybe she doesn't hate you.
We've made up. We've made up.
Okay, that's good because she's great. She's always in the chats. She's always helping out people. You know, being in their chats, talking, that kind of thing. Mr. Selfstruck says calmness is too much to ask for from the other side. Some people don't know how to act normal. They're terminally online. Immortal Rising Comic Book says anti-CG and EJ White Knights are out in full effect. Crazy seeing people who were funded by CG now attacking it. It's so funny how this is like a recurring thing with CG that the people who get funded by it turn on it. He also says old weak sauce, aka Bat Sauce, is just a toxic troll who gets air from Student of God and her pit lickers. Are you talking about the guy with the Adam West Batman picture?
Bat Sauce?
Yeah, that guy's fucking annoying. We're cool now, Cammy says. Okay. Officially, ladies and gentlemen, that's awesome. That's so sick. Where can I pre-order a candy clone, says Mr. Self-Destruct.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm glad that there are people like Carbon and BA and everybody else who can talk to these people calmly. Like, you guys don't raise your voice. You don't use, foul words and all that stuff. I'm really glad there are people like you guys who exist because I'm like, I was watching Katie Did's channel the other day where she was going over the Mange going over, because it really was not Shane. It was really Mange going over the Eric July video. And boy, oh boy, I would pause it and fucking scream at the screen. I'm like, you fucking, oh my God. I get so mad when I hear that motherfucker talk. And I'm so glad there's people like you guys who can like not lose their cool like I do. Wilberforce Wooster says, I feel bad for Eric because he doesn't know who he has orbiting him now. Hopefully he will mainly ignore his new supporters. Dude, it's not even the people just orbiting him. It's the people he hired. Like, golly, gee willikers.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he's giving pats on the back to all of his rabid supporters. And it's like, I mean, he's rewarding them. So they're just going to continue to be worse and worse. Because for them, the smallest crumb of clout is like getting 100,000 on a crowdfunding campaign. I mean, they're jumping for joy probably in their mom's basement. It's like they're just going to ramp it up even more. The more he cheers that on. So
Dakar says, "Hail, listening. What's up, Dakar? How you doing, man?"
Hey, man.
Well, he's really making the rounds. Sorry, go ahead, Carbon.
Things have been escalating, and I thought that the CG chaos, so to speak, or the indie comics chaos was gonna start to die down, but I think it's ramping up now. Like in the last few weeks, you have all these things coming up with Eric July making these moves that are very strange with the sale. And he liquidated his inventory. He even posted a strange video that was supposed to be like a kind of like funny hijinks prank video. You saw that where there was a guy being chased around in the warehouse. But the funny thing is that we got to see how empty the warehouse is now. And that was more important to me. So it's like, what is going on with him? And now you have JDA. JDA has gone full force against Ethan and essentially against a lot of Comicsgate because I think he's psychotic. I really do. There's something up with that guy.
I don't think
JDA.
he's psychotic. I think he's just a disingenuous sack of shit. He's been
Well, you
trying
know
to
about
get in with somebody, and
He's up to like 40 grand
now
on
he's all mad about it. It's the same,
That's all true too.
It's the same thing as Matt Barr. Matt Barr was getting to a point where like he was being reasonable and not blowing up on people on the internet. And then Liam Gray's Dino King got promoted, and that just sent him over the edge because he already hates Liam, and the fact that Liam was being promoted by Ethan so strongly, I think that was a master play by Ethan. I honestly do. I think Ethan was like, well, I like Dino King, and I'm gonna make a big deal out of it and see how Matt responds. And he responded exactly the way you would want somebody you don't want to be around responding.
It's weird too, because even while he was promoting Liam and before then, I mean, he was promoting JDA. He was constantly sharing his Fandom Pulse articles. So it's like, dude, you should have been happy. You didn't have an active campaign at the moment. He's pushing your articles. He's getting you a bunch of clicks. Like, why do you care if he's promoting the guy you don't like? Just one up him, make a better comic or something. I mean, it's just really, really strange. But again, he's clearly been trying to get Eric's attention. He would love to work for him. So that's what all the folks, for the most part, unless they're legends in the industry, right? They jump ship and say, hey, I don't want anything to do with that guy. And that's kind of seems like part of the initiation to join his crew.
Well, he'd love the money. That's what he'd really love, These guys like Yellow Flash and even Matt Barr hopping around, they're showing that they're gravitating towards the money, because Eric had obviously these huge campaigns. Yellow Flash decided he even publicly made a video saying, I'm going to disassociate from Ethan and hang out with Eric. And now JDA did the same thing. And the doxing was a very bad move. Doxing Ethan's address was a really bad move. Because not only...
He didn't even apologize. Like, he didn't even once try to be like, oh, it was a mistake, even if it wasn't. Right? Yeah. It was so clear that he didn't care.
He also proved that all the past allegations, all the rumors of him threatening that were true. Because now he did it to Ethan, who, essentially is kind of, the most influential guy in Comicsgate, other than a few other people. And clearly now no one can trust him. JDA has proven he's poison.
It blows my. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're making a Kickstarter or any kind of crowdfunding campaign, you probably shouldn't tell people where your backers live or people who've given you their address. Like, it blows my mind that would even become an option in people's minds. The moment you give anybody's address away, like, nobody can trust you anymore. Like, why? Make this make sense. See, this is why you guys are here, to keep me calm, because I fucking lose it with these stupid shits.
Yeah, and what's worse about it to me is all of his supporters and the anti-CG people defending it, being like, "Oh yeah, but this person did this and that person did that, so that's okay." And it's like, no, that is not okay. Period. What he did, like, that's it.
Honestly, it's all in the eyes. When you look into somebody's eyes, you can see who they are. And there's something with JDA's eyes. I noticed from the beginning, they're always dilated. His pupils are always dilated. And he has this kind of like wide-eyed, I'm telling you, it's psychotic.
Yeah, it is weird.
Oh.
Wilberforce Wooster says, Clint Stoker, the Biggins, Liam, and now Ethan. Quite a pattern. Galaxy Stranger says, yeah, Vito. Do you guys... well, that's a different subject. We'll talk about that later. Frederick Roman says, yeah, someone who doxes a backer is done in my book. Not going to send them my info in case they turn on me. Yeah, dude. I mean, oof. Talk about a way to just spit in somebody's face. But speaking of JDA, Dr. Ben over here has got a new intro to his channel, and I'm going to share it here so we can take a look at it, and we'll see what everybody thinks.
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of get get people's feelings on it. It's kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Remember, chat, this is Comicsgate Commandos, no fucks given. So if you don't like it, you should shame Dr. Ben. You should call him names. Try to find out where he lives. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's. I'm sorry, Dr. Ben. I shit on you all the time. I'm sorry.
Dr. Ben.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Hold on.
Try to have a couple different parts of it, you know, a couple minutes of intro, you know, that way where people get into the live stream.
Yeah.
But it's you'll see. It keep going. It
Keep going.
yeah, keep going. You'll
You kids like kittens?
In the fields, the bodies burning.
Oh my god.
As the war machine just keeps right on turning.
shout out for
Wholesome.
Vancouver Comics Art Festival,
Hatred to
standing up for the state of Israel. Thank you,
poisoning
Vancouver.
their brainwashed
Sorry.
people.
Hang on just a second, I can hear you.
Country roads, take me home.
I mean, this is some
It's judgment
legitimately traditional Israeli music right here. So, you know,
Yeah,
you're doing a great job.
the Oz Muhammad.
spreads its wings. Take me home.
What happened to the song?
Country roads. Now in the dark,
What a babe.
the world
Yes.
it stops
Mrs. Nerdrotic.
turning.
Oh yeah.
As the
Oh man.
bodies burning, begging for their sins. No more war pigs have the power, hand of God has struck the hour. On their knees,
It's just like
on their
looking out like
knees. Country roads,
you know, Miss
take
Pig.
me home. It's Judgment Day.
It's like Matt Walsh there.
Sometimes co-host Sam.
Who is that guy with the beard?
This guy.
Ramon Villalobos. That's like the guy that one of the guys that Ed Piskor blamed in his
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
nice. Nice.
there's a little bit more of a Comicsgate sort of joke, I think, is the next. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like you'll definitely.
Yo, I never.
You know how this fire started?
Yes, I do. It was because of my cousin. And I don't want to mention no names.
Your cousin.
Yes.
And you said you think your cousin started this. Do you know how or why?
He's mad because he can't get with me. I'm married to my husband. And it's a long story. Just make it
The
short.
news clip.
He put me in a hospital once last month.
You think they could have a cousin fucking convention?
Millions of people right now are born of incest. What? Dr. Ben says not enough.
When your hot cousin gets stuck in the dryer.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
You think those videos are doing it? You think that's why everyone's trying to bang their cousin? Or what is it? Cousins, stepdaughters, stepmoms, and stepdaughters.
And this was the song Katie did had.
Yeah. We'll watch all these songs in a
Well, I put a because she just had the song, so I put kind of like a, you know, like a dance video to it, kind of. You know, I tried to put a little bit of, you know,
wait.
Get people psyched up for when they come into come onto my show, like we're watching, they're like getting all.
Wilberforce says, I don't know what I'm watching. And Galaxy Stranger says, oh, we're in hell, Wilberforce. Oh, man.
It does have that feeling.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, people, what we're watching is an intro video. So it has that nature of some chaos over there.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of get you prepared for what you might, notice or see in the show. Like, so I'm saying, it'll be kind of primes you, gets you ready for the show.
Yeah, dude, nice. Very nice. Yeah, we'll listen to the rest of that in a little bit here. Whoops. Okay, there we are. All right.
Yeah.
But
are you saying it's a bad intro? Like that, I can take it. I can take.
No. What I'm saying is, to be brutally honest with you, Dr. Ben, what I'm saying is, I wonder if I can handle things that are 6 minutes long. Can other folks? You know what I mean? Like, some people get bored and then they leave, and it's like, no, come back. But we've got 15 people watching. You know what? Fuck it. We have more people watching right now than we did when we started. So, all right, folks, you want to ask for it, you get it.
We'll finish up the intro.
Right.
Eric July has a beautiful singing voice.
He's so good.
Everybody thinks I'm a bitch because I call the cops and snitch. Now good thing is doing so bad. The worst.
Oh no, is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are confirmed like him.
It's
That
very
is him.
feminine
Never seen that?
dancing.
I've seen some of
Ethan-
them dancing, but not those ones.
Yeah,
Not
the
that
booty
booty pop.
movements.
The booty pop, that was him? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You feel threatened, don't you? It's like,
Oh,
We're
my.
getting some.
Can you imagine if this
You
guy
know,
would
young-
pull up on you? No!
Argyle.
Checker sweater.
Nah, he got the Argyle sweater vest.
Oh my god, I gotta see it
The Christmas sweater.
I can't believe this, that there's so many videos of this guy doing this dance. And he's in a checkered sweater, and now he's like, fuck, we're out in the streets looking like thugs. We're cool. Oh, now we're inside of a upper middle class home, and I'm wearing an Argyle sweater.
pulling up.
Thug life, baby.
He's giving me young Tupac vibes. young, skinny, effeminate Tupac vibes.
Oh my god. Thank God he grew the beard, right? Oh.
Kiss that. How is that a dance?
Oh my god.
This is all coming to
Ooh, what's this from?
No,
Dr.
sir. No, sir. I don't like it.
Hold out, Chuck Dixon.
Oh, you're. Oh, the cane. Oh, the pimp moves. Oh, it's a broom.
Dude.
That's even more embarrassing.
That's not good.
Twilight just seems. Dr. Ben says JDA has a lot of dignity.
The black beard.
Yeah,
The
right.
black beard.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'll just admit what's going
Oh,
on.
this was the JDA part, yeah.
Comicsgate.
Stay away from here. Stay away from here now. Don't come in here. Whatever you hear, stay away.
John Della Rose.
Who has the upper hand?
Toes down rose. You wanted to be light and shining.
Does have like an odd.
Very round head.
It looks like he's going to like break, like just burst into tears. Like there's a couple moments where like he does this kind of look, and he looks like he's just holding back.
Yeah. There's some strange emotions in his eyes, for sure.
No. Go out in a blaze of glory.
How dare you?
Like Oswald's kids.
Oh my god.
So that's what I'm saying. And then I'd come in. Hey everybody, it's friendly neighborhood Dr. Ben here doing, and then I'd do whatever, we're gonna draw a picture, we're gonna look at a comic, or I might get back into doing like interviews. Like I used to do a lot of interviews, but I kind of, you got to be in the right mind frame to like you know what I'm saying, like be able to like have someone on, like promote them and try to hype them. You know what I mean? Like that's my actually that's that. Can I want to ask BA Baracus a question about this comment. Okay. Unscripted. You can testify that no one has advanced you the questions.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. You're
not going to testify that, or you're saying never mind?
Wait a second.
We got to get to the bottom.
Jibbity.
That's right.
Is your comics about gargoyles, right? Would you say that your comic is endorsing like the sort of fallen angels or the dark side, demonic entities, or would you say your comic is more towards more endorsing the angels of light serve you know, my Lord, the King of Kings? You know, would
yes?
Are you is it a pro Satan or anti Satan comic? That's my question. Like seeing the gargoyles gives me like, I'm like, what is he doing? Is he like trying to be like sly, like, oh, they're not demons, and then like, oh, really they are. They really like to ass rape everyone. They're demons, but I'm calling it. You know what I mean? Are you like one of those guys, or is it like you're doing gargoyles more as like that's what I'm saying.
Are you pulling a Bram Stoker's Dracula? That's what he's trying to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it ties into a good kind of a point for my book. So what I want to do with the gargoyle, you know, unlike the Gargoyles TV series and a lot of different shows where it's more of a medieval and just straight magic story, I wanted to have more of a biblical or celestial tie-in. You know, I grew up Catholic and everything, and you know, some Catholics believe that they put grotesques or gargoyles on cathedrals to scare evil away, right? To keep evil spirits out of the church. And so I kind of ran with that line of thinking of, hey, this gargoyle looks demonic, could strike fear into even evil to try to keep it away from humans. So I kind of brought that idea to life and then made a really deep backstory about the grimoire that turns him into a gargoyle and how that's impacted the course of events throughout time. So yeah, definitely anti-Satan.
Anti-Satan. Okay, that's always my main concern now.
Oh, okay. My follow-up question was going to be, do you drink blood at night? But I guess we've answered that.
Yeah, no, I think okay. I mean, to be sure, like it is just a yes or no question. I mean,
I don't. No, I still drink water. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Patrick, get ready. Keep your finger on the kick button.
Really?
Keep your finger on the kick button just in case.
Are you joking or
B.A.
being serious right now?
No, for B.A. Turner, just in case he says something.
Right.
Just in case he says something that, you know, it's a little too far gone, you know?
Yeah.
In case they get unhinged or something, you know?
He's going to go on a rant about how Kamala Harris is the smartest politician ever to have graced the... Anyway, we got Belmont Comics says, "Hey, all, what's up, Belmont? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show." Cammy says you should make a film. I read this too late to know what she's talking about. I'm sorry, Cammy. If this is 2008, I think this is in regards to Eric July's dancing. He's got moves like Mick Jagger. Yeah, I guess. I don't get why more people don't watch. You guys are good at it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Cammy. I also don't get why more people don't watch. But it might have something to do with the fact that Katie Did has a show on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, streaming over us.
Yeah, it's funny. More and more people are streaming, right? It's like there's more shows going on. So it's hard. You know, we're just going to have to compete. And I was going to mention that, by the way. We're just going to have to make this balls to the wall, crazy, you know, controversial. And we're going to have to just speak our minds, Patrick. We're gonna have to let it all out.
Controversial, yeah. I mean, we can do that. You're talking about outside of you know, the regular Comicsgate controversy. Are you saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Both CG controversy and all worldly controversy and otherworldly controversy too.
Oh, that's my favorite kind of controversy. Otherworldly controversy. Yes. Have I ever mentioned to you guys about the Nephilim? I'm just kidding. Immortal Rising says, bro knows how to lift it. He learned that in the ghetto. I don't. What? Frederick says, the business dance. Ooh, now we got to get okay. Somebody's got to make like a techno song.
Wait, that makes sense, right? He's constantly dropping it.
Oh, got him.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
It's business time.
It's
business time.
And not in the fun way either. Cammy says, did anyone here ever see the creepy walrus film by Kevin Smith? I did not. You guys?
I did see that, and it's freaking horrific. With Justin Long, it's like a body horror movie in which a guy gradually gets transformed into a walrus. His body gets surgery. It's fucking gross.
Sounds horrible.
It's not actually. You know what? It's not worth watching. It's not worth watching at all.
Yeah, I think it's a hard pass from me. JDA equals Just Docs Artists. Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's his new name. We got Phone Tap Phil. We've got Head Wound Bar. Just Docs Artists. That's good. I love all the nicknames that Comicsgate comes up with for all the scumbags that come through. What is Patrick Thomas Parnell's nickname? PT Pusher. PT Pusher.
Oh yeah, party time. Party time,
Patrick. It's pretty gross, and I'm a Hellraiser fan. She says,
"Yeah, Hellraiser.
Hellraiser's life."
Hail. That's like my
Comics. Hail, man. What's going on? Welcome. More hails. The new one wasn't bad either. The new Hellraiser. What do you guys think? Anybody seen that? No.
I lived
I saw bits of it.
You saw it on like TV or something?
No, yeah, the new Hellraiser was actually decent.
Oh, good.
Oh, the relaunch thing.
Yeah.
It was on like a special channel or something. Like it was on like Hulu or some crap. I remember that. That was good.
One of the. I think it was Hulu.
Yeah,
but, I
watched that. That was good.
Yep.
Like
the plot was pretty good and the effects were decent.
Good. Wolf and Bear says Dr. Ben once escaped from the clutches of a satanic cult. Yes, that is a confirmed fact.
It's true.
We know that. We still don't know the full extent of his involvement in said satanic cult, but we'll leave that for that's where we say to be continued, and then we see next episode we'll find out. Niobe says save the cats. Yes, sir.
No, Niobe's here. We're not allowed to have Niobe on the streams. I think he's supposed to be on the.
Why not?
I ask Niobe, aren't you on like the blacklist for Comicsgate? We're not allowed to have him on. I think.
Oh, the blacklist Ethan sends around to everybody in Comicsgate?
Yeah, that was on the
right.
The last DM or no?
I must have missed that one. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, sorry, Niobe. No, pigtail anime girl comics are not illegal in these parts.
Katie's Anime Weeb Wednesdays is what Mr. Self-Destruct says. I take it you don't like anime very much, Mr. Self-Destruct. Oh, if it's Weeb Weds, not interested, lol. Come on, guys. I like some anime too. And the guys on the panel here, do you guys like some anime? BA, do you like any anime?
Pokemon, if that's considered anime. It's as deep as I go.
Okay, all right, we're moving on. Carbon, do you like any anime?
Yeah, we've talked about this. 80s and the 90s had some good anime because that's before it went full on gay and full on,
full on.
There was some badass stuff back in the 80s and 90s. You had Akira, Kashan Robot Hunter.
Yep.
8 Man. You had Demon City Shinjuku, Wicked City, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D.
What a great
and
movie
then
that was.
there's a few good series in the late 90s, but in my opinion, the last good animes were Berserk and Cowboy Bebop. And then after that, it's all over after that.
I disagree with you there, Carbon, but we'll resume this in a second. I want to get through the chat. I want to keep the chat waiting. We're moving differently, says Niobe. Comics news show is what Cammy says. That's kind of what this show is. We promote people to the extent to which there's small show can promote people, but that's the goal of it. Obviously, another goal is to talk to the creators about their process, how they do things, the research they do. Like, I love hearing about how other people do their work. It's so cool to me. And then the other thing is, we go over news. And Carbon's right. I'll be honest with you folks. I've been kind of a bitch recently about going over dramatic stuff. Mostly because I really want to talk to the creators about how they do what they do and why they love it and why they do what they do. And I don't want to lose that aspect of this, because that's the point of why we're making comics and writing novels is because we love it. And I think we should have some time to focus on why we love this art form. And a lot of people only detract, so light detraction. And I like to bring some of this, I like to be positive, at least at first, and then we can be super negative at the end. Galaxy Stranger says none of Smith's stuff is worth what. Sorry, go ahead.
It's not necessarily negative, though. I mean, I think discussing what's happening, it's more like talking about I call it politics. Comics, CG politics, indie politics. Because it's true, the dynamics and the relationships between all of us, it matters, as we all know, and it's not. It matters, and it's important to discuss sometimes. So it's not always negative, but also I agree with you. Talking about the books, I love talking about the books too. So we gotta do both.
You're right.
It's about balance.
What'd you say? Sorry.
So yeah, it's about balance, right? That's why I can't stand the complain tubers, because it's 99% complaining about Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and blah blah blah. But if you're at least doing 20, hopefully 50%, right, of promotion, talking about what you actually love, and then you talk about the stuff you don't like and why, that's kind of key, is the balance. So those are the folks I like to hang out with.
Yeah, I agree. Galaxy Stranger says none of Smith's stuff is worth watching. Cammy says it is horrible. Wolf and Bear says new Hellraiser was good. Cammy says I expected it to be bad. Niobe says I'm not CG, lol. I'm not that list. You're not CG? I'm just kidding. You're still welcome here. That's okay. He doesn't like the General. Who doesn't like the General? And are you talking about Scab or me? No weeb stuff, says Frederick Kuman. Niobe says, pick up your Pigtail Anime Girl comic at your local comic shop now.
Yeah, he is published through Antarctic Comics. He always has Ben Dunn on his show.
Wait, so he's like mainstream then? If he's been published and he's not independent, then that means he's a poser? Is that what you're saying? I'm kidding. Mr. Selfstruck says, I love anime, not most. A lot of the most popular shit I can't stand. Curious. Niobe says I need the blacklist to frame it on my wall. Frederick says I agree with Ben on the anime. Indie comics news is a strong niche, says Immortal Rising Comic Book. Yeah, you're right. But in every niche there are people who will watch. Amy says yes. Dr. Ben said about replacing the old news show. I agree.
Yeah, but
Nicholas McHugh, what's up, dog? How you doing, man? Hail.
Death Note.
Death Note. Ooh, see,
can't ignore Death Note.
That was a subject I was going to bring up in a second here.
Death Note was good.
Comics Game of Thrones. It is kind of like that, except in Game of Thrones, there's no good guys, and we're the good guys, so it's not quite like that. And I am House Pigtail. Hey, MSD Immortal. Like the first. Okay. No, you're fine, Yo. I'm messing around with you. I like to mess around with the chat. But Carbon, I just want to say you're wrong, because Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, these are animes that are. Attack on Titan might be one of the greatest shows of all time, and I really do mean that.
Attack on Titan is not bad, but you don't really need it if you've watched Evangelion or Evangelion.
Oh yeah, Evangelion.
If you've watched Evangelion, you don't need to watch Attack on Titan, because it's pretty much a rip.
Does
What am I
Evangelion
hearing?
have
Some
the
background
same
noise? Is something on in the background?
Who dat?
I don't think it's me.
I'm gonna mute you, motherfuckers, and find out who it is. We're about to find out. I don't know how to mute people.
Here, let me mute myself. It could be from another room. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Baracus.
It's Baracus.
Sounds like some talking in the background. Not a big
Yeah,
deal. Not a big
Tell
deal.
your wife to pipe down, BA. Just kidding.
In the middle of an important.
That'll go over well.
This is highly confidential.
But yeah, I was saying, Patrick, have you ever seen Evangelion?
I watched the first 2 episodes and didn't finish it. My question to you is, does it pose the concept of the reality you've been living in is completely and utterly false?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Actually,
I'll watch it then. I'll finish it out.
In my opinion, Evangelion is the best anime that's ever been made.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot, and plus, my opinion is very valuable because I know my shit. But anyway, Evangelion is worth watching.
Mr. Selfstork says Evangelion is so superior, but not the Netflix sub. I agree with you. I only watch the subs. Only. I love the Japanese language. It's a beautiful language.
Read.
Dr. Ben. Here, I need to take a piss break real quick, but while we're doing that, I want to show you guys something really cool that one of my friends made. I'm sure some of you have already watched this, but this is old Johnny Scab. Old King Scab, King of the Scabs.
King Scab.
This is his new tribute to Eric July. So let's take a quick peek at this, folks.
Eric July, business of flames, undeniable worth. Turns out he go straight from the earth.
Yeah, he starts videos and they don't work, and he's just.
The same air he consumes in a
So we're just gonna have to talk over it anyway.
Got all the hustle, hard in every flex, perfection in motion, no room for complex. Skyscrapers rise just by laying his track. Mountains move aside, Eric July's back. Business in his veins, that's pure energy. Utility and unity, breaking down the synergy. Every stroke a masterpiece, reinventing dreams. Eric July, the best supreme schemes. Go with the flow, Michelangelo with beats. Da Vinci on the mic, Renaissance in the streets. Every day above limits, he redefines best. Surpassing legends, putting notes to the test. Minus touch code, everything turns green. Entrepreneurial genius, living the dream from boardroom to studio. Smooth as silk, king of the business. Straight
Man, are you putting that in your comic?
Business in his veins, that's pure energy.
Yeah, actually.
Breaking down the synergy. Every stroke a masterpiece, reinventing dreams.
Draw
Eric July, the best in business, supreme
the other side. I'm gonna do it on a separate piece of paper, and then do it the traditional way and use the 3D asset, and then just put like a picture of me standing, and then just rotate
on the mic, Renaissance in the streets.
Yeah,
Every day above limits. You read
it's gonna be funny.
Surpassing legends.
The traditional way.
Minus touch code. Everything turns green. Entrepreneurial.
Which book is that going to be in? Worry?
The studio, smooth as silk, king of the business. Straight magic from quill to quill.
I think it's gonna have to go in the
utility and unity, breaking down the synergy. Every stroke of masterpiece.
Like, I feel like I should give the comic like a different name, like for the whole thing. But the comic that I'm doing now, I'm gonna have the ash can up next week.
Let's get, right?
Yes, let us get.
Yeah.
How about that?
Nice.
How about that? How about that?
Catch me outside.
Catch me outside. Yes, sir. Business. That's right.
Are you guys aware of, or have you heard of the recent revelation that rap and hip hop was actually a psyop created by the music industry in the 80s in order to push drug crimes? Yeah,
Not
and
surprising
basically
at all.
to criminalize urban youth.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out what's his name? Ice Cube. Last year, Ice Cube did an interview in which he actually revealed it. He actually said it in an interview. And so it was confirmed. I heard about it years ago, but it turns out it's true, and it was fabricated by some of our favorite people out there in Hollywood.
Not surprising.
Do you want to say? Look, you were the one who said we want to do controversy, so fucking lay it on us, Carmen.
I just said it. The chosen people.
Okay.
The chosen people, you know, they have funded some of the most influential industries in the country. The porn industry.
Porn, yeah.
The Hollywood industry, the music industry.
Transsexual drug producing community.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you think about the 1970s and the 1980s, right?
Mm-hmm. Real before
And
you
then you
continue, I just want to tell the folks at home, the opinions expressed in this stream are solely those of the people on the panel involved. They do not include B.A. Turner necessarily, unless he outs himself. So I just want to let everybody know there's no guilt by association here. Okay. All right. Continue, Carl.
Yes. And there's a reason why I stay anonymous. It's so that I can say stuff like this.
Okay.
But you look at the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, right? You look at America and the demographics and racial relations. Obviously, you had the civil rights movement of the 60s, and there was tension. But look at the black population and look at the music that was produced by the black population in America. You had funk, you had soul, you had jazz, right? You had disco, and it was very, as a matter of fact, dance music unified the races to a great extent. Like disco was kind of like a multiracial thing. You had everybody was in the club, black, white, Hispanic, everybody was there because it was just dance music. Something happened though. Why is it that in the 90s, all of a sudden, you have this big disconnect, right? In which suddenly the races, they're not integrated. They don't get along, right? Suddenly, it's like the music that they listen to is completely disconnected. And then they can't relate to one another because it's called gangster rap and it's called thug life and drug life, in which you think
minus the Beastie Boys.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought them up. Oh, I'm so glad you brought them up.
Here.
No, that's a part of the conversation. Because guess what? The three guys in the Beastie Boys, look up their real names.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're kidding.
They wear small hats too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was part of New York City.
What?
That was part of the psyop to pull in some whites to be a part of it as well. For some whites to get into hip hop as well.
But I thought, never mind.
Look into it, my friends. Look into it.
That's why you gotta just listen to Russian rap. It's not really an issue there. So.
Tommy Cash.
Ты хочешь трахать? Давай, пожалуйста, сейчас.
До свидания.
Okay, good job, Carmen. It's funny you say that though, because like P-Funk and Funkadelic, like Parliament Funkadelic is one of my favorite groups of all. I mean, they're two separate groups, but they're the same thing. It's George Clinton. Some of my funk is some of my favorite music of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much, and
funk is awesome.
Funny. It's so good, and the jazz is amazing too. And then you go into the 90s, 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and you're like, what happened? What happened to you guys? Like you were creating the best music anybody'd ever heard, and then now it's not even really music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We could have a whole separate stream about this, we should. We should.
We should do that the week after Immortal Rising.
Yeah,
I think that'll be cool. We'll talk only about music. We'll kick Dr. Ben off the show. I'm kidding, Doctor. What?
Dr. Ben's he's well versed.
Yeah, I've got musician friends.
No, I'm just messing with you, dude.
He's well versed in gangster rap, actually.
You guys want a truth bomb here? All right. Everybody people who watch this show already know my opinion anyway. Well, I'm going to say two things. I want to say two things. First, I would say look into the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Read it. I mean that. I'm not joking. It's really eye-opening. It's very terribly fascinating. And it's confirmed to have been written at least 100 years ago. So that makes it rather strange in the current climate. Mr. Selder says, when will you release your Russian rap album, PQ? Dude, that I honestly might do a Russian rap song on the Comicsgate album now. I feel
Do
like
it.
that would be hilarious.
I can send you reference material.
Please, because I'm like I'm okay with Russian right now, but it's been so long, you know what I mean? So it would take me a while, and I can rhyme just fine, but some of the phrasing I think might be off. So I'll just need your help on that.
You should lean into the Russian thing right now, like especially because like Putin endorsed Kamala. Like
that was such a good troll. So many people are like, "Oh my god, he's actually endorsing." It's like, you guys are so stupid. He's smirking.
We have no idea why he's It's another
trolling
fantastic
you.
day to be rooting for Putin, I gotta say.
Dude, that's such a good segue into the Russia stuff that's been going on.
Let's do it.
Tenant media.
Before we do that, I do want to say one thing. I would say this. I've noticed there's a lot of like noticing going on, and that's good. I do think questioning the narratives. Questioning narratives is always a good thing, because if the narrative is true and you question it, then you come up against the truth and the facts, and you go, okay, all right, cool. But if it's not true, and people are posing things as facts and truth, then you can figure that out and you can move on, and we can all move on as people. And I think that's a good thing. And I'm using the word noticing in the memeing sense, the way it's being used right now on the internet. I would say, however, that there's a lot of hate, and I mean hate. Like, I'm not the kind of person, you're being a bigot. But there's a lot of hate being levied at singular groups of people, assuming that everybody in that group is a bad person. And I don't think that's fair. I think that we need to be very precise with our language in when we say things, about groups of people that we dislike. That's really all I want to like. I just feel like not everybody in the group of the small hats is an evil megalomaniacal, whatever. And I think we need to recognize that as people, that some people are useful idiots. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know any better, and they think that what they've been taught their whole life is the truth, so they act that way. And so instead of hating these people and calling them names and othering them so that we can essentially find a way to kill them, we should instead try to have conversations with them. If they refuse to have conversations, that's a different story. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different story if you're like, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you, and debate about this subject. That's a different story. But there's a lot of people in the world who follow certain ideologies of every Catholic, Islam, Muslim, Orthodoxy,
Hawaii.
Protestants, there's all kinds of people who follow all kinds of different religions, and they're not necessarily evil people. They just believe what they've been taught their whole lives. And can you blame them? Because, when you're in a culture and you were taught a certain thing, that's what you think. So I just feel like we should be a little more merciful towards people. You know what I mean? Like, just give them the benefit of the doubt. If you give them the benefit of the doubt and you present stuff to them and then you start getting some weird shit back, all right, do what you're gonna do. But I have seen a lot of, and I was one of those people in my family being the clarion call, like, hey guys, maybe you should pay attention to this group of people because they're doing this, and nobody paid attention to me. But now I see it going too far on the other side, where we hate people, and hate is not it's not something Jesus would want us to do. And if you guys are religious, then you should probably not hate people.
Patrick, I'm glad you said that, because this is not a hate stream.
No,
this is not a hate stream. There are good eggs in all groups.
Yes,
I've dated an Israeli girl. She was hot. So there you go.
I reviewed that Jewish lady.
You could be like, she was pious, she was chaste. No, he's like, no, she was hot.
We had great times, and there's no animosity there.
I'm sure you
there's
watching Netflix.
Did you ever get
The people want to know, Carbon, if you're circumcised right now. I'm just kidding.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Well, that's another controversial topic. We can discuss that on another stream.
Bro, we got to get Paul Ravoche on to talk about circumcision. He's got a
The
particular
circular,
opinion about that.
the covenant.
Yeah.
Why do I have to cut my dick?
Frederick says TMI. Cammy says, does anyone else notice that the noticing coincides with Muslims gaining power in the West? So, wait a minute. Let me think about what she said here.
What?
Because it seems like the noticing wouldn't be in favor, like it would be pro-Muslim, you would think. You know what I'm saying? But the pro-Muslim side of things isn't really being pushed right now in the media. I'm trying to think conspiratorially. That's how I think. I'm trying to think.
Well, that's just because of what's going on in Palestine and all that. I think they're just treading lightly with that part of the world. I think.
If you can't, I'm sorry, who is treading like
the media and politicians, right? They don't want to criticize. Well, at least on the left, right? Which the media is primarily left. They don't want to criticize either too harsh, like whether it's Israeli or Palestinian, right?
Yeah.
And so they're kind of, I think, just hands off on.
It's
the
kind of more like
Palestinians in a way.
Fuck the Christians, though, right? I mean,
well, there's essentially there's an invasion happening. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. In Europe, we all know about it, right? All the Muslim countries are invading Europe to the point where it's like it's transforming the demographics. Yeah, and then here in the United States, the Palestinian protests or the pro-Palestinian protests have been expanding more and more to the point where you have America becoming Islam sympathetic, and in Canada as well. I've seen videos of these huge prayer meetings. The population is increasing of Muslims. Even in Michigan, there have been protests occurring in Michigan that have been actually changing the laws there. So there's a bit of a transformation happening, and Cammy's right. I don't know if it's intentional in terms of an agenda occurring, but I think it's a byproduct of Christianity being fought and being opposed to the point where I hate to say it, Christianity will never die. It will never die. But in this country, it's being suppressed heavily, and it's a bad thing. So I think that's the byproduct of everyone being anti-Christian, ironically pro-Muslim, because then you have these women supporting Palestine, but they don't realize that the Muslim countries, they don't give women any rights to anything, abortion, so all the liberal rights that they want to have here, women, Muslim countries don't give that, and they don't even realize it. So it's pathetic.
I mean, are they really? Is that really a bad idea?
Yes, I like to see women's fucking faces.
Yeah, that's
well to the Muslim extent, it is bad. I say we go back to pre-1920. The 1910s was probably the best decade in American history, right before women got the right to vote. Sorry to the women in the chat. I love you, but
you've lost Cammy again, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I gotta. Okay.
Real quick, let me catch up with the chat real quick before we get back into more things that'll cancel us. Marilyn Cookies says, "Did Carbon ever give that girlfriend a Dutch oven?" Hello, Marilyn Cookies. Welcome to the show. Carbon, would you like to explain?
I don't do those kinds of pranks. I feel like that's
that was foreplay.
Yeah.
Well, not in my book. To me, that's a deal breaker. That kind of kink, I'm not into it.
He's not talking about shitting on her. He's just talking about a little bit of farting and holding her under the sheet. There's nothing wrong with that. Mr. Self-Destruct, if I had 3 wishes, I might just make one of my wishes for my foreskin back. I wish I hadn't read that. Dakar says,
Oh.
then they won't get invited to the
Wow.
kitty sex parties if they show favor for Trump. Damn, Dakar, coming out hot. He's not wrong, though. People are too nice for their own good and too evil to their own kind. It's sick as hell. It's mass psychosis. Dude, isn't that weird? The weird, like, niceness of Flady. Welcome, Flady. I think you were on the show last week or maybe the week before. He says, read the Quran. It's 100% intentional. Oh, dude.
Pat,
I have a
one
good...
brief.
Go ahead.
One brief thing. That last comment. Yeah, these people are too nice for their own good. That's the Bible verse. The path to hell is paved in good intentions.
Mm.
That's exactly what the liberals have been doing. They pretend that, you know, their cause is righteous because, you know, the idea behind being liberal is we're going to give everybody all rights to do anything goes. But inadvertently, you're leading to their own self-destruction. The path to hell is paved in good intentions.
Yeah. It's funny because their whole thing is based upon nothing at all. They go, we're going to be good. And then you ask them, okay, so do you believe in God? And they go, no, I don't believe in God. And you say to them, okay, so then what's good? What's good and what's bad? And they can't answer the question because their morality is not based upon anything other. Oh my God. Wow. Their morality is not based upon anything other than what's at the time acceptable in the culture around them. So it could change at a moment's notice. If most people agreed
exactly
that you could beat your wife, then they would be like, well, this is totally acceptable. Like, there's no reason not to beat your wife because everybody thinks it's okay. Because there's no objective truth to these people.
That would be democracy. If most people agreed that it'd be good to beat your spouse, that would be democracy in action. It'd be okay, well, the majority says.
Right. Which is why the majority should not rule, which makes me sound like an Illuminati member, but
that's why we have a constitutional republic. We're not in a democracy.
Yeah,
we're in it.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Galaxy Stranger says they are connected. It is an agenda. Cammy says, I'm agnostic, but I'm culturally Christian. That's good, Cammy. And I said the same thing to Johnny, who also said a similar thing. You have to understand, like, Christianity. I saw a meme of it earlier. It was like this dam that's breaking under the weight of this river that's rising. And the river is labeled Islam and the dam is labeled Christianity. And the valley below where all the people live is labeled all the other people. And to a degree, you know, there's more factors involved, but your culture that you live in is based upon culturally Christian values. And when we throw those out the window, so then goes the rest of your culture and the rest of the achievements that your culture has made. And I've just been trying to hammer that home, that like whether or not you believe in God, Christianity is the best thing for you. This is sick. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean sick in a good way. Let me introduce another guest we have here. Some of you guys might know him, some of you may not. But he's as far as I can, I mean, I've seen him now for the past 2 months here. He's up and coming. He's really talented. His videos are really fun. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to JJ Trujillo. Did I pronounce that correctly, JJ? I'm sorry.
It's pronounced sort of like if you say tortilla, right? You know how it makes a yeah sound, so it's like Trujillo.
Trujillo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
No doubt.
I haven't seen much of your guys' streams, but I saw the one with Liam a few months ago, so I appreciate it. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, Liam's great. I love to have him on. It was a good time. So
What's up, JJ? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Carbon Heart.
What's up, dude?
Hey, BA. I'm glad I finally got on with him. He was going to make me read a few books before I could talk to him. So.
Dude, thanks for coming on. You can see, obviously, I imagine you've been listening to what we've been talking about. We're in hot waters here. So, you know, you can say whatever you want. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
People
yeah,
might
JJ, you're the guy that does all those videos about.
The chicken videos with trash casts. So the responsible thing would have been for me to have checked what you guys were talking about first, but honestly, I just kind of jumped in.
So yeah, we started talking about Jews and Islam and Christianity and, you know, the death of the culture. 9/11, yeah, we're about to get into that.
That's true.
I was about to show everybody a picture of Building 7. I
You came at the perfect time.
You really did.
Yeah, no, but I've seen all your videos, JJ.
Go ahead.
Yeah, those are
thanks,
good.
Man. Yeah,
I love the
Oh, sorry.
the recaps that you do. The recaps that you do of the whole Comicsgate situation with Eric July and Ethan. It's hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy how a lot of that stuff plays out. But luckily, I don't really have to do a lot of writing. Eric does it for me, so I guess he's writing some stuff.
Yep.
He writes a lot of things for you other than the comic books that he sells people.
That's correct.
Mr. Self-Destruct says, "We love our Muslims. We love our Somalis. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet." It's a great song.
Have you guys ever talked to Bosch Faustin before?
No, but I want to have him on sometime.
Yeah, dude, he'd be perfect for a conversation like this. It's pretty interesting.
Although we're predominantly anti-Jew right now, so you know.
Well, Bosch, Patrick, you know that Bosch.
I'm pro
Bosch is the guy. He draws Muhammad.
Muhammad, yeah.
And portrays him in all these
my favorite
mockings. Thing. Yeah, and
because
so
you have all these motherfuckers out here drawing Jesus like in horribly sacrilegious ways, you know, like crucified with cheese or some shit. You have all these, you know, artistic types doing all that stuff all the time, and nobody bats an eye. But Bosch Faustin draws a picture of Muhammad who's not supposed to be drawn, and everybody's losing their minds over it. It just shows you how weak some of these people are.
Even though Muhammad, according to their religion, Muhammad is just a prophet, though.
Yeah,
he's not Allah.
He's
so God. I mean, talk about getting a little bit extreme. It's like the equivalent would be drawing like Moses, but nobody cries over anybody, you know, insulting Moses. So basically, at the end of the day, we should just nuke the entire Middle East. That's what should happen.
You know,
well, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, folks, about mercy and being like, hey, maybe not they're all evil. We should all move. We know what we should do. We should kidnap them all. I was saying this to my coworkers earlier, actually. We should ride over with Apaches with giant nets and net everybody. You know what I mean? Like just get them all in these nets, lift them up, take them to I'm going to say Antarctica, because that's another awkward subject to talk about. We drop them off there. We give them enough, you know, resources to survive and to make their farms, and then we just glass the entirety of the Fertile Crescent. Just glass it. Like the whole place has been covered in blood since the beginning of recorded history, at least the past 7,000 years worth of history. And there's something going on there. Let me get to the chat, and then we'll return to this conversation here. Galaxy Stranger says it's 100% true scientifically that women only care about abortion vote and men care about economy, which is an important one. Don't get me started, Galaxy. Oh my God, I went on a 30-minute rant about abortion to my coworkers today, and I don't want to lay it on you guys. BA Turner's Vigilante's Creed on Indiegogo.com. Guys, go back this right now. I'm going to bring it up again real quick here.
Thank you.
Is it yours or mine right now? That's here. I'm going to remove you and add mine so I can scroll through it here. Vigilante's Creed, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 books and a comic book and many other. We've got also we've got the Joe Ball trading card set, which coincidentally I have right here. Very cool. The only thing I would say, BA, is you have so much backing for these characters. You should put some bios on the back, you know, or like height, weight, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll be doing that for the comic campaign for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be very cool. So we've got all kinds of editions here, guys, that you can choose from. The mini comic itself is only $10. Come on. Like, what are you waiting for? Then you got choose book 1 or book 2, $20. You could also get the duology, which I have right here. Look at this thick boy. This is thicker than a guy with his foreskin still. You see this? That's how thick this is.
It's not comics in there though.
No. It's the prose novels. Both of them. Look at this shit. Amazing.
Yes.
And we've got. Yeah, go ahead, BA.
Yeah, that one is both novels combined. So it's about 500 pages, and then the mini comic is 15 pages, which shows you some of the key scenes, but it also introduces all of the major characters with statistics and information, so you know exactly what the characters look like when you're reading the novel.
Yes.
Right.
And an Incubus card too.
Mm-hmm.
At least I got an Incubus card because I'm special. So yeah, guys, go check this out right now. There's a bunch of different options you can choose from here. And I would highly recommend getting everything that he has on offer here because it's all incredibly unique and very cool. And BA is probably disappointed in me, but I would say I'm 60 to 70% done with book 2 right now.
Nice. There you
go. I try to read a little bit every day, probably 30 to 40 minutes. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, it's like when I get home from work, I have a few options in front of me. It's like, you know, work on the comic or, you know, have fun and do whatever I want. So I kind of have to work most of the time, but the free time that I do have, I do spend doing that. Galaxy Stranger says women vote emotionally and men use logic, therefore women should not vote because of this. Wilberforce Wooster says, I don't know, selling a separate overpriced disc drive might be appealing to Sony. Then wait a minute, are we talking about PS5 now?
No, we're not. We're not
Separate overpriced disc drive might be appealing to Sony. Then up the physical price again, making a smaller collector's market. This is a PS5.
He must have been, yeah, he must have been talking to someone in the chat about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mob Rule is a disaster. Catalyst's Vault. I don't think you've been here before. Welcome, Catalyst's Vault. He says, I hope Trump loses. I hope the Antichrist rises. Jesus comes back and all this ends. Well, your hope is going to prove true, Catalyst's Vault, because whether or not anybody likes it, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with one of those things. Or, well, two.
I agree with all of those things. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not I hope the Antichrist rises. Dude, it's gonna happen either way. I hope he shows his true colors. That's what I'm saying.
You want it all to end?
Yes. The meme that best describes Patrick Quinlan is the one where it's that picture of Matthew McConaughey, but he's been edited to look like Jesus and he's smoking a cigarette, like, and it says, "Flooded again." That's the meme that best describes me.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. Like,
oh, I know. I wasn't born for these you know, flappy, flobby peace times. JJ rocks and buy Turner's books. They're really fun. Make that full comic happen. Please, folks, go back it right now. We want that comic book. I want that comic book. The Death Star was an inside job. Yes, it was. Those many Bothans died to get us this information. Never forget. Thank you, Flatty, says BA. Should have tuned into Bosch's stream. It was really good. Was that just now? Because I couldn't have because I was on this show. All the big names come to the Comicsgate Commandos. They really do. In the end, they all come here. Unbreaded. Hansel Hauser with some more emojis. Hansel, can you at least, like, you got to tell me, like go fuck yourself, Patrick. Or
Target.
Write something there. You know what I mean?
Target.
I want to read what you have to say. Nukes are a psyop too. Frederick. Ooh, this is a subject for a later time, but it's fascinating. It really is fascinating. The nukes are a psyop subject. Dude, Carvin.
By the way,
come on, man.
I just want to clarify something I said earlier about the Middle East. I was joking.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was joking about that.
No backsies.
I would remove all the women first. All the women can be rescued first, and then we can move forward with that.
Right? Mandatory removing your hijab. Don't worry, we'll give you a bikini.
I saw this insane documentary the other day. It was about transgenders in Palestine. So would we be evacuating those too, or are we leaving those?
No.
Let me think about that. No.
Sorry, fellas. It's not gonna work.
Can you imagine though, like being a Muslim? Like think about, like you guys wonder, like why are Muslims so angry all the time? Not all the time, but some of the time.
That's a good question.
Well, it's because you have to marry a woman who's wearing like a blanket her whole life. You take the blanket off, she's got a mustache. Like, wouldn't you be angry? Like I would be angry.
Well, actually, I think it's the weather. I think the weather is the reason why they're always angry. And I think it's just time for them to move. Just move the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody
And
needs
they'll
the
be
Holy
happier.
Land. It's not really holy. It's all covered in blood anyway. Marilyn Cookies says, "Hey PQ, what do you think about the Hannibal directive being implemented? Minecraft civilians so they aren't taken hostage." Is that real? And by Minecraft, you mean unalive? I don't know much about that. I got to be honest with you. So I don't know that I could say right away. Good evening, all. Good evening, Felix Smith. Nice profile picture there. The Riddler's sick. Frederick says, "I backed Vigilante's Creed and just got it today. The prints are gorgeous. The mini comic is great too."
Thank you again.
Very nice indeed. Catalyst Vault says, "Why didn't anybody agree with?" I'm sorry. See, we get into these great conversations, and then I hope Trump loses. I hope the Antichrist and Jesus come back. No, I agree with you, dude. I said I agree with everything you said. Frederick says, "Guma, I got the card too, Patrick. You're not so special."
What, Patrick?
Wait, what? What did I do?
You just said you agree that you hope Trump loses.
Oh, yeah.
You said. You're like, I agree with all of it. Wait a second.
Well, I don't think it really matters all that much, to be honest with you. That's my controversial opinion of the night. I don't think it matters. And also, I think that him flubbing the debate last night is a way to increase the drama of the play. That's what I would say. Frederick Gaumont says Jesus already came back. We are in the little season. Frederick, we actually talked about this conspiracy theory the other day. We're in the Millennial Kingdom conspiracy theory. Terribly fascinating.
True.
Not entirely unconvincing, but the problem is the people who argue for it are always talking about. They're always showing AI pictures, and it makes it not realistic. PQ gets it. The answer should be you want nothing more than to be with Jesus. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Surprise. It's Cammy. We're moving to Europe, and here, Cammy says, "I don't want to die." Okay. All right, we're all caught up now. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to. I don't want to make the chat feel like we're not listening to them.
BA, would you mind trying to mute because some background noises are getting a little crazy over there?
Yeah, I can do that.
We hear a Russian talk show, and they seem angry.
My wife's speaking English for the moment, so it could change.
Oh, is your wife Russian? Is that?
Yeah.
Because I remember talking to you a bit ago about how you had a Russian connection, so that's cool.
Yeah. I moved over there 7 years ago and lived there for a year. And while I was there, I ended up meeting my wife. Well, at that time, girlfriend. We got married in Russia, and then ended up going to Germany for a year before coming back to the States. And yeah, I've been here since. But yeah, absolutely love living over there. So it was best move I ever did.
BA, what did you do for work while you were over there?
I taught at a private school, teaching English.
Oh, you did tell me that. That's right.
Yeah, that's kind of at that time, the only way you could get a work visa is to teach English, because there they have a law that they have to give. Basically, Russians have to have the first stab at all the jobs before any foreigners do, or foreign speakers. Unless it's a specialized job, which teaching English, or like a high corporate role or something, then they'll do work visa, which I agree with that. I mean, that's a great law for the country itself. So, but yeah, I did that for a year there. So,
very sick.
By the way, BA, lately I've been seeing some videos and propaganda going on that's saying that Russia, like the cities in Russia, aren't as nice as some of the videos have been trying to display. Basically like an anti-Russia propaganda saying that those videos were fabricated and that it's actually not that nice. Like Moscow, for example, they're trying to say it's like a shithole. Have you heard about this? And I want to know about what you think, because you said it was very nice over there, and chances are it still is. So what's the reality here?
Yeah, there's definitely some propaganda around that. I mean, like any big city, right, there's certain areas that aren't nice, right? Especially when you're talking a massive city like Moscow. So there are a few districts where, yeah, it's not the nicest area. And you also have to remember too, right? Some of those buildings and how they were built during the Soviet Union, right? They didn't actually build the nicest like apartment complexes back in the day compared to now, right? They're modernizing now. But Moscow City itself, unlike San Francisco, right? New York City, LA, it's immaculate. I mean, the streets are clean, there's no homeless, you don't see people, drugged out, anything like that. Very, very safe. I mean, I wandered until 3 a.m. some weekends just around the city aimlessly. Just went to different bars and restaurants as an English speaker. Never had any issues, never felt unsafe or anything like that. I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that in any U.S. city.
Yeah. And that was 7 years ago that you were there, right?
Yeah, and it's the same or better
Yeah.
now. I mean, their economy and everything just continues to improve over time. So, yeah. And I went to Crimea 5 years ago, and that had vastly improved just in the couple of years that it had reunited with Russia. So,
Mr. Self-Destruct says, someone said Russia removed a lot of restrictions for people moving from the West migrating to Russia on some stream. Yeah, that was my stream, Mr. Self-Destruct. I said it last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Putin gave a little... apparently, you don't need to... There's some rules. But yeah, you can give us more edification on this about moving over with a visa, that you have to like know the Russian history and the language and the culture. And he said that's not a thing anymore. You can just come on over.
He recently offered kind of a special visa application where he would forego some of those requirements. And part of that application is you essentially need to be almost seeking asylum from liberalism and some extreme political agendas. Like if you're a conservative and you're like, hey, I just don't feel comfortable living in my country for X, Y, and Z reasons, that would be explained in the application, and then you could get residency essentially. But for years, Putin's been very open about wanting good foreigners to actually migrate to Russia, which makes sense. They're overpopulated with women. Like the ratio there is really unbalanced.
Carbon, do you hear this right now? Carbon,
We're
this
going.
is God. This is God calling us.
What about if you're on the run for like a mass murder or something?
I mean, it makes
No,
sense.
Dr. Ben. No.
Listen,
I mean, if you
I'm gonna
if you think
teach.
about
I'm
it,
gonna teach
like,
English over there.
You could.
I gotta teach you Russian first, Carbon.
And we're each gonna have 3 wives.
No.
Well, that's not
Traditionalism.
legal, yeah. But I
King
mean,
Solomon
think
had-
about it, right? With World War II and how so many people, so many soldiers especially died, right? That there would be a big imbalance. So, yeah, he's been very open about, hey, let's make it easy for folks to migrate here if they want to follow our laws and our traditions. You're welcome. And yeah, it was really comfortable there. So, and they do like Americans there, the women. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Yeah, I know. JJ, what's your love life like?
That's a good question. I have autism and I make stupid videos online. No, I'm just kidding. I'm married.
Oh, nice. You got any kids?
Yeah, I just have one for now. Hopefully more soon.
Good. That's good. Because when the world ends, we're gonna need people like you to repopulate. So
That's right. Gotta do my work. So that's actually why I went on mute a second ago. And I think you might be able to hear my baby.
I hear it right there. Yeah, there we go.
Screaming.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
So
funny,
JJ.
though. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, I'm gonna ask you, because I haven't really seen your name around in the chats on the CG streams. Like, what was your introduction to CG? What's kind of like the origin there for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I had a friend. So I have like a few friends, like not internet friends, but like real life people, where they like to watch. Well, they were watching CG like back in like 2018 or 19, and so sometimes like you guys remember when the Tim Doyle stuff happened. I had a friend who was like really into that. I didn't really get super, I guess, inundated in CG probably till like 2021, more or less. But I was mostly just watching it. And then what happened is just like when the Eric July stuff was going on, I saw like a lot of lies happening, and I felt like basically he was kind of running with a lot of narratives that weren't true, and I kind of wanted to just condense everything real shortly, so people could understand. But I guess before that, also I had kind of interest as a creator, as a writer. So I have a book that's published on Amazon called "Long Live the Liar." So I was kind of like into the indie scene because of that. But a lot of it's kind of fractured now because a lot of them, are really really big Eric stans. So.
Sorry, Carbon. I thought you were going to talk. I was waiting.
Yeah, no, I was. Yeah. So, what's your book about?
Yeah, that's. Thanks for asking. It's about a boy named Brennan, and he's basically a slave to the prince. So his mom sold him when he was a young boy, so she could get some alcohol, some rum, a barrel of rum. Yeah, and then basically,
San Diego, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what you see every day when you go to San Diego, or if you go, you go down, the streets of LA, right?
Yeah.
People just selling their kids for black tar heroin.
Yeah, that's right. Egg, baby.
Exactly. But anyway, basically, while he was with the prince, the royal fleet was basically heading because the prince was going to, have an arranged marriage, but then the fleet gets attacked. And so the prince and the slave are the only people who survive, and they basically, escape on a little dinghy boat. And the two of them have to rally, their kingdom together and stop, an onslaught of invaders. But there's also like some treachery that happened too. So, a lot of enemies within. And so it's kind of, I guess, largely inspired by Celtic mythology and history. But, just kind of a fun fantasy story.
Nice.
Sounds fun.
You said it was on Amazon?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called Long Live the Liar.
And it's under your name, correct?
Yeah, JJ Trujillo.
Okay. I didn't know if you maybe had a pen name or something.
No, I probably should have because there's a lot of crazies on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a pen name though, JJ. And I like it on your videos when you kind of put on that affectation of sounding like you're doing like a unsolved mysteries kind of voice, with a deep voice. Yeah, that I like. That's funny with the intro. It's like, what you go like by JJ Trujillo,
Yeah. I think. Did you guys ever watch Geraldo? I mean, that was like way before our time, most of us, I think. But I like watching.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny stuff. But anyway, I was kind of thinking like, man, I want it to be sort of like that to a degree, where it's kind of entertaining and. But yeah, it's kind of, there's a line you have to walk because you want to be informative, but also like, make it entertaining at the same time. So,
yeah. I liked your video about hooks.
Oh, thank you.
That one was, like that's, I was taught like a lot of that stuff I learned in high school. Like it's weird how my high school was like better than all the college. Like I went to 3 different colleges because I kind of did a lot of drugs and failed out of 2 of them. So, you live and you learn. But all the colleges I went to were incredibly incompetent in every way in writing. But my English teachers in high school, like they were all about teaching me all the best ways to do things and like the hook, and I watched your video and I was like, damn, this guy knows his shit. It's very nice.
Thank you.
So
yeah, oh, sorry. What were you going to say, BA?
I was just going to say, Carbon kept mentioning my background noise, and I'm like, man, this doesn't make sense. My mic was never plugged in, so I get the dumbass award for the day.
Wow, you pulled a Dr.
It was
Ben
coming
there.
out of my camera mic, so I probably sounded horrible.
Oh, wow.
So.
Dude, you sound way better now. Yeah. All right,
Good,
folks.
good.
Wait, back it up. We got to restart.
Well,
We
it's
gotta
contagious.
restart.
See? Put it off.
All right, let's go back to talking about the Jews real quick.
Well, BA, don't worry. I mean, we could still hear you before.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we couldn't hear you.
Yeah. It's just now you sound sexy, not in a gay way. Just,
You got
Go back to the book.
Thank God for Mr. Self-Destruct sharing JJ Trujillo. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm going to do it right. Don't tell me. Trujillo.
There you
That's
go.
right.
All right.
There you go. Embrace that Latin,
Yeah,
Actually,
Carlo,
I don't think there's any Latin genes in you, right? Because you're mostly Irish, right?
I'm Irish, Polish, and French Canadian. That's about it.
North European.
Very much so. We hate the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another. Oh no, we don't. Never mind. Forget about it. I take it back. Anyway, that's awkward. Cammy says, I got accepted into art college and I was offered work experience at 2000 AD, but I had to get a job. What, Cammy? You were offered work experience at 2000? Come on. And you didn't do it?
Like an unpaid intern. I think that's what he's saying.
I mean, I get it. But
Yeah. It sounds like, it was unpaid.
Is 2000 AD like woke now? Is that what's going on? Like, are they like Marvel and DC now? I don't know because it's British. Are you saying yes to you got offered that or yes to their woke? Please let me know. Oh shit, a fellow. I'm not even gonna try to say that word. I'm not.
Unpaid internship should be illegal.
Yeah,
like, how do you get away with that? Like, you're gonna work for free just so you can say you got experience. It's like
experience.
Hold up, man. How's Yellow Flash gonna make his comic books if we
fair?
Got him. Amazing. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, go please subscribe to BA Turner's
thank you.
YouTube channel right here at https://youtube.com/@b.a.turner_VC right now.
Wait, hold on. You mean backslash? It's backslash, Patrick.
See, I consider because our language goes this ways. I don't sometimes people say things and they don't make any sense, but they're like, "Well, this is the way it's always been." That's a slash. The backslash would be facing the opposite way. We speak English.
Yeah.
English reads left to right. Therefore, this regular slash would be left to right. You see what I'm saying?
Why is there even two
Which one
different
is the left
slashes?
part?
It's like the summer solstice. I had a big argument with coworkers about this. The summer solstice. They're like, it's the beginning of summer. No, motherfucker, it's not the beginning of summer. It's the middle of summer. If it's the longest day of the year, that would mean that there are days leading up to that are less long, and days leading after that can then continue to get shorter. Which means it's the middle of summer, not the beginning of summer. The beginning. Okay, I'm sorry.
Which one is the left slash?
That's this way. That's backslash, in my opinion.
That way?
But apparently, I'm
Or
wrong.
that way? Wait, that way or that way?
Don't listen to me. I think the giants used to live on the planet.
Backslash is the one that you see on everything, where the bottom is to the left. Forward slash is the one where the bottom is to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, does it, Dr. Ben? Flady says
this BA, like you're a. This is because I always think about this. Who Leon the slash thing? Like, which way is it supposed to go? How do you know?
The bottom. The bottom is your indicator. So if the bottom is to the left, that's to the back. If the bottom is to the right, that's forward. See what I mean?
Why isn't it the top? Because if we read from the top down and from left to right, so the top, you see what I'm saying? The top of the slash would be at the right. And then
yeah. Marxist.
The Jews.
That's the
It's all the
answer.
Jews. Yeah, the Jews.
Yeah, like I can accept that. Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said the juice. I thought we were talking about O.J. Simpson, but
After Nicole Kidman,
Oh my God.
Forward slash.
Flady One says this inflation is going to go insane. The price of cats and dogs per pound is about to go through the roof. Cammy says that Yellow Flash guy is the worst pen name I've ever seen. And have you seen his his avatar and his character are like just knockoffs. I had to say, I hope, says Catalyst Vault, I hope Trump loses because every person that runs for president that I support in word loses, except Trump, the first TI. Solstice and Equinox are the middles. Galaxy Stranger, I appreciate you coming onto this show. I really appreciate you watching. You've been here the whole time, but you're wrong, and you should feel ashamed of yourself. Equinox means equal nights.
Don't argue with the chat, Patrick. We agreed at this. You don't have to.
I hate this because this proves all of my points wrong. This right here, Equinox means equal nights. You've ruined my life. Okay.
I don't think it's that important. It's not that
look,
important.
you don't understand how important it is, Carbon, okay? Just butt out of this. This is between Galaxy Stranger and me.
Equinox means equal nights. That sounds why you're saying it doesn't mean that?
Look, I don't want to talk about it anymore. JJ, what were you going to say?
Oh, I just got a summon for my wife. So unfortunately I have to go. I'm sorry that I had to leave early, but
Dude,
thanks so much for
coming on.
sending the link.
Yeah,
and then
anytime.
also anytime you guys want to, do a stream together, that'd be great. I usually go on Thursdays, but I'll DM you guys, but
for sure. I think I followed you on Twitter, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, cool. And you're Patrick Quinlan on Twitter?
That's right.
Okay.
The comic book writer.
Have a good
Good
day.
meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you, man. Take care.
Good to meet you, Carbon Heart,
Good.
Dr. Ben.
Galaxy says he thinks he was agreeing with me. Look, let's not talk about the equinoxes anymore. It's a sore subject for me. It is. See, Mr. Self-Struck says, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to talk about Vigilante's Creed. I was very triggered by that.
Patrick, you skipped Marilyn Cookie's
Oh, did I?
question there in
What's
the
the
chat.
panel think about JDA's heel turn? We'll start with BA.
It was expected. I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away. It's happened a couple times, I believe. But once he started kissing the ass of Eric, he just knew that it was going to be a formal declaration, but it was good to see Ethan start to be honest about him. But I think a lot of people already saw how he was acting and treating people. He'd been taking shots at me for some time, and it's just like, yeah, just go ahead and bounce to the other side. It's a better fit for you.
Yeah, zebra can't change its stripes. And, JDA has had a history of being this way already, and people knew it, where he turns back and forth, he jumps ship, and he basically just goes wherever he can get some clout and some influence. And unfortunately, when someone's like that the first time, you learn that you can't trust them again. That's how you got to be in life if you don't want to get fucked over.
I think Cammy just cut him off again. She was just.
What do you mean?
When she said bye, I think she was saying goodbye to Carbon there. He was
No. She was saying bye.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I'm interested in pushing Carbon out of the way here. Like, sorry, it's time to go.
Gotta get rid of Carbon.
She's like, bye, Carbon.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you, fish. Cammy says, I saw him on the news, JDA, years ago talking about the culture war.
This is the thing with JDA. Imagine you have, you're engaged in some sort of fourth or fifth generational asymmetric warfare, right? You're gonna use some sort of like poison blanket or poison pill or something like that. You don't take that and put it with your friends. You take that and you throw it with the bad guys, with the people that you're against, right? That's the only problem with JDA is every now and then he gets spun around, right? Most likely in effect of the hibbity jibbity from trying to kiss up with Eric. Gets spun around and he starts coming back friendly fire, right? So that's what I'm saying. As long as he's pointed in the right direction, he's good. Once he starts turning around, he can't turn it off. You know what I'm saying? JDA has just got on and like digging and like just going at you. There's no way he can regulate it. It gets turned around. So
that's what we call pride, ladies and gentlemen. Sleeping Psychopathy says, who even is his family? Like, what kind of wealthy are we talking?
They might
pretty well.
be family who owns, because his last name is Del Arroz, right? And arroz means rice in Spanish. So they might be some rice paddy proprietors, where they could be rice moguls.
Rice cakes.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Carmen, I love when you go into the, well, this is in Spanish. This is, it's amazing. Del arroz, which means rice.
He did win
rice merchants.
Uno rice, dos rice.
He won the that court case where the
rice
the science fiction the SFWA, the Science Fiction Writers of America, defamed Mr. Rose. They said he was some sort of unsavory character. You know, they use unsavory terms to describe him. Kicked him out of there.
Well, hopefully not his rice, because.
No, well, I think that was the thing, was that they were serving the rice and then kicking him out as well. So they were
okay.
But he won.
That might be why he got into an argument, because you know there's a history of domestic violence in his house, and so his wife might not have prepared the rice properly. And I think that probably that led to an issue after dinner.
Yeah, so when you're dealing with you know, a rice, what would you call that? Like a gourmand or a gourmet rice grower? A rice farmer?
Connoisseur is the word you're looking for.
Connoisseur, yeah.
The Rice King of Cali.
That's good. The Rice
He's
King.
the Rice King of Cali.
The Rice King. Can we, okay, from now on, we've got to refer to him. All right. I'm going to make a post tomorrow about him calling him the Rice King. So if you guys please back me up on that, because.
Okay.
Kevin says, is he Muslim? No, but he says he's Christian. Doesn't act like it.
Should I, do you think it's bad enough? Like, I have an article on his
Rice Middle
Fandom Pulse news website, right? His, wherever his, on Fandom Pulse. Like, I know I have an article in there about, Rick Veitch was trying to get Swamp Thing 88, his issue that was never published because it was going to have, I talked about that on here before, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
It was going to be like Swamp Thing was going to be like the cross or something that Jesus.
Yes, you did talk about that.
Yeah, so like I had, see, this is the perfect example, right? I find that incredibly disrespectful to the King of Kings, to like, he's published besides Superman and Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's very disrespectful. Whatever, you know, I'm not, but I don't want to, but I figured, you know what, if I can put this out into JDA's sphere of cackling and backbiting and infighting, and, you know, just throw that in there. Hey guys, did you know about this? And then let them be like, because it was like, the email went to like DC Comics, like an editor or something there who would determine like there was enough people writing to the email to like publish it. So I was like, send JDA and his hordes of you know, rabid comic book fans, turn them all loose on you know, DC Comics. Which right after that, DC also had the thing where they had, what was it, like Tom King had something where like Wonder Woman was like, it was something stupid, like trying to insult Jesus, or it was like some sort of, it was a couple months back.
Yeah, no, I remember
that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. DC has made it.
They're trying to introduce slowly some blasphemous images very subtly, because they know that if they do it gradually, it will be accepted and normalized, especially now in the current culture in America.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. That's what JDA is built for. Someone to go in and annoy the absolute living piss out of like the human resources people at DC, or human resource, those people at Marvel or Disney, or, you know what I mean? Put him in there just to be a thorn of like, well, I'm a journalist here. I've got, and like, he's got a whole crew of little JDAs running around too, you know, all doing the same, you know. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's for. Turn him, make sure he's aimed at those guys don't get turned around fucking with Ethan. And
Well, you know, I wonder if at this point he even like is interested in fighting with the mainstream, because you know a lot of the infighting that's going on with CG and like these indie people, it's based in jealousy, and it's rooted in like people who basically want to get a one up on somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I basically I think JDA is more interested in fighting with CG than he is in fighting with DC and Marvel, to be honest.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I don't think he actually, in my opinion, cares that much about the content of what the mainstream is putting out. He buys the books
yeah,
that he shits on. Like, you know, it's like those complain tubers that are like, "Oh, this movie's gonna suck. It's gonna be garbage. No one should see it." And then they're at the movie theater, like, "Hey, I'm watching this film," and it's like,
yeah,
You paid money for that. You gave them the
Hmm?
money. They won.
like,
yeah.
exactly. And it's like, I think it's just all about getting attention, getting clicks.
that just might that might
yeah.
make you rethink your attitude towards him there, Patrick. I mean,
Oh my god. No. Is this going to be a thing now on Comicsgate Commandos? Is the Jews?
No.
Oh god.
I
Of
told you,
course
I
not, because we also hate the Muslims, so it's not not just
don't hate
that.
any of them. I'm
Don't forget the Indians. Yeah.
I practice all faiths. Sir. As you know, I'm a doctor of divinity, so
Oh my god.
Here's a
belief.
question: if you're racist towards every single race, does that make you not racist?
No, it makes you Satan.
Well, that'd be an equal racist opportunist.
Yeah, equal opportunity racist. But then at the end, if you're against everybody, you're not choosing any race over another.
Yeah, but you're not for anybody. Therefore, you're still a bad guy. You got to be for somebody. Let's say the Amish. Let's agree on the Amish. Can we agree on the Amish? BA?
Well, it's not a race, though.
Well, I mean, we're gonna.
Or it's a group of people. It's a group.
We're just gonna assume.
They're like an inbred race, you know.
Oh my God! Now we're anti-Amish. All right, folks.
On that
I want
note-
to go over Vigilante's Creed here a little bit more.
They're like a close community, you know, like they're
Oh my God! We're gonna make everybody enemies of us.
not.
I wonder how true it is. You've heard about the fact that they don't use
never
vaccines.
know.
That's good.
You know, the Amish, they don't use vaccines, and there's this whole thing where they don't have Down syndrome in their community.
Mr. Sleeping Like a Psychopathy says, "How do you feel about the Orientals? Japanese, South Koreans, most Vietnamese. I'm okay. I don't like
They
the
preserve
Chinese.
their culture.
Chinese women are ugly. That's what I would say."
You know, Orientals that's an
Yeah.
offensive term to them. They don't like that word.
I don't think he's too concerned on this stream about offending people with terms. Pro-Slavs. I'm pro-Slav, that's for sure. You're not against your own race, are you? The Irish? The Irish have to show that they're worthy of their own race right now. They're in a tight spot right now. They got to show me that they're like, Ireland is for the Irish. That's what I want to see. Amish supremacy. Please elect Conor McGregor president of Ireland. Please. Does anybody not want to see that? How amazing would that be?
Funny.
I just, you know, who knows what's going to happen with England and Ireland right now with the situation. It's pretty crazy.
Cammy knows. Like the people in Britain right now who are hip to it, they understand either their entire culture and them are going to go away and not in a nice way, or they take it back and not in a nice way. These are your options. You let them in a nice way. You can't take them out in a nice way. That's really what it comes down to.
Let's be realistic here, though. Given that right now you have a huge, invasion of the people from the Muslim countries, it's to the point where it would take an actual war to remove those people.
Exactly.
And the chances of that happening, I think, are very low. I don't see England doing that.
Well, then the rest of the people who live in England who are English and practice the Christianity or are culturally Christian will die, and they will be submitted to Islamic law. So that's your options, folks. You know, no fucks given. That's what you have to like.
Cammy, I think you should come over to the U.S. I think you gotta flee England. I got a place for you, Cammy. By the way, in case you need it.
Oh my god. Well, maybe not the real Cammy. Maybe her clone. The real Cammy's got a little attitude. You know what I mean?
That one that has 4 arms.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, Cammy. But yeah, the one with your 4 arms, she can come on over. She's
Because I mean, have you ever seen someone with 4 arms? No, because you know, they obviously don't appreciate her over in England.
British Spiral. Anybody? Nobody? Okay.
Spiral.
All right. It's a deep cut.
Yeah, the X-Men character. Yeah.
Okay,
Spiral.
thank you, Carbon. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You made me not look like a total idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, Vigilante's Creed. I know we've been talking about all kinds of stuff tonight, but you know what is even better than those things we've been talking about? This book right here. Well, the 2 books and the comic book you can get with it and the art book. So here's a little snippet from it. You know, BA, I wanted to mention to you, have you ever considered having somebody do a
narration,
like an audiobook?
Yeah, that's something I do plan to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to do full audiobooks, or I may do audiobooks as I release the comics that cover the portion that the comic covers, right? So it won't be as long, won't be as expensive to produce, and then you can put it all together in the end. So yeah, that's something I do plan on doing at one point. Yeah.
Well, if you ever want somebody, here's what I would say to you, BA. If you want, like, I would love. I'm a voice actor as well as a comic book writer. I know that there's not a lot of evidence of that, although there is some on my YouTube channel.
I'm a voice actor too.
If you send me specific descriptions of the way in which your characters talk, I know some of the one, like Siberian Scientist, I know how he talks.
You could do the Russian accent. That's
Easily. But all the other stuff, like I don't know exactly like how Chen talks. I don't know exactly how he talks. You know, I don't know how you want Slade to talk. Like I just need, if you give me some more background for it, like and descriptions of it, I can give it a go and I can read, you know, the first, a couple chapters and record that and send it to you, and you let me know what you think, and we can go from there.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I think it'd be cool just to see how it works out. Spiral's like a troll. No, Cammy. No, it's a comic book reference. God, girls suck. Ugh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show this trailer for Vigilante's Creed here real quick. One last. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please go back Vigilante's Creed right now on Indiegogo. We're at 11,664 right now. I expect to see this at 12 to 13 by tomorrow morning when I check when I get to work. So you have all kinds of options here of things you can choose. But I'm going to let BA take it over from here for a second.
Yeah, as mentioned, there's 2 novels and a mini comic, and you may be able to speak to this and some of my other readers so far, but this is not your average novel. I don't think it reads like an average novel. So for anyone that's hesitant to pick up a novel because sometimes they're a little bit of a drag, they can be a bit boring. I aimed to basically fight that, to have something that's more immersive, that is emotional yet has thrilling action scenes and gives you that visualization. That other novels just simply do not provide, even on their cover art. So Just ask people to give it a chance, try something new, or maybe dive back into novels if that's something that you were into previously. And I try to make it as affordable as possible. Like the top perk there, the Let's Get Physical, you get both novels, you get 2 of the mini comics, and then a black and white version art book, plus 4 free laminated prints, plus a free trading card, and 2 laminated oversized bookmarks, all for $50. So you're talking like $10
Deal.
per physical item. So just really want people to read the story. That's my main goal, and get excited for the comic. So
Yes, sir. Well, BA, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure. You can come on anytime you want. If you just want to come on, if we've got other people and you just want to come on, just ask me and I'll send you the link.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate, like I said before, between you and Carbon, I appreciate the way you guys fight the lies and the bullshit going on in the independent comic book industry. We need people like you, people who are calm and cool and collected and just stating facts. So thank you so much for that. Before we go, though, I would like to talk about the issue everybody has brought up this today about the Jews. So first and foremost, my issue with that